Right, here we have the Motoradds Flex Slim action camera chin mount, which I said I was going to fit to the AGV K5-S. It took, it's from America, it took a couple of weeks to arrive. I suppose the Christmas period didn't help with that situation, so let's just open the box and see what we've got. I have already looked at the Motoradds YouTube video, installation video. Now we've got, what's this? Oh, they send a card with a QR code on, so you can scan the QR code and go straight into the video. On the back of here it says, using providing alcohol prep pad, clean the designated mounting area and let it dry. And then number 2, preferably wearing gloves, apply the adhesion promoter to the chin of your helmet, let it dry completely. Once the adhesion promoter has dried, you can apply the mount. That's a very simplified version of events. What's this? Oh, that's that's about pre-shaping the thing before you apply it. What's this one? That's a thank you card. Quite randomly, in the actual envelope that it came with, there was all this, and there was a mini packet of Haribo gold bears in the pack. I don't know what that's about at all, but I'll give those to one of the grandkids, I think. Oh yeah, and in the box also you've got the primer or the adhesion promoter there, and an alcohol cleaning pad. So let's have a look at this. There we go. There's the mount. You get one thumb screw with it. You peel that off to stick it on, obviously. And also in the packaging there is a small a short extension, I assume, so you can, it allows you to tilt, get a little bit more adjustment, and moves it further away from the chin depending on which camera and which housing you're using. So next thing to do is get on and get it fitted. Right, so we're going to start the fitting of this thing. We've got the mount, the small extension, pair of latex gloves it tells you to use for the primer or the adhesion promoter. We've got the alcohol wipe. Now this, it's an old mixing bowl from the garage, an old stainless steel mixing bowl. I've covered it with old bits of toweling. The idea being that I can stand that in there to keep it steady, so that's not going to start rocking around while I'm trying to fit this. So let's first of all we have to pre-shape this into a rough shape. It would appear that it is perfectly symmetrical, so it can't go the wrong way. It can't go the wrong way around. It's got Motoradds on one side, and so whichever way you put it, and that there is the actual mounting itself is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way around it goes. So let's get shaping it into shape. Right, so I decided it's going to go nice and low down there. So let's start. It is quite. There's a steel, like a steel insert inside there, so it's fairly easy to manipulate. Yeah, it's just sprung back up a little bit there, so it's exactly as it says in the video. To be honest, it is extremely easy to manipulate. So yeah, that's pretty well. where you would expect it to be. What I will do when I use this, I've got the one thumb screw on one side. I shall mount that so the other screw is on the other side, if you like. Save them being both on the same side, but that won't affect what I'm doing here. So I think that is pretty good. Yeah, we get the centre bit down first, and those bits won't be touching, so initially let's just twist that around there and that one around there a little bit, because the contour seems to fall. It's a compound contour, so it seems to fall away both sides, so that will touch there. Yeah, that's happy with that. You can see the shape, and I've twisted it as well to come in there. Yeah, happy with that. So now I use the alcohol wipe. I find it. There it is. Give that a good clean. Get any finger marks and grease and wax off it on both sides, so it's nice and clean. And there we go. Now we have to leave that to dry. So I'll just go and make a cup of tea while that dries. Right, so the alcohol is now dry. We'll now put the promoter on. It does say to wear gloves or to wash hands immediately afterwards. So we'll use this little pad that was supplied. Put this promoter on, adhesive promoter on. Yeah, it smells quite pungent, so we'll put that on. It tells you to leave that to dry, but it doesn't say how long it takes to dry. So give it a good wipe. Anything that smells that strong and pungent and acidic has got to be working. So it doesn't say how long to take just to dry. I'll take those off now. So I'm going to leave it for as long as it takes to drink my cup of tea out of my new cup that one of my daughters got me for a Christmas box. Right, so I've given that 8 to 10 minutes to dry. Now, moment of truth, I suppose. Let's peel the. It does appear to be a branded 3M adhesive strip on there. So let's try if we can find. It's always a bit fiddly. This is the moment of truth. Oh, here we go. Try not to touch the. There's the adhesive strip. Now this is going to be like a instant contact thing. So you've got to get it right the first time. So how fiddly is this? Get that in the middle. Just up here. We get those two tips equally spaced. So if I press that firmly in the middle, eye that up, and then down we go, working outwards, as the video would suggest. Nice and firm in the middle. should be no gaps. That's it. I think there's a slight gap underneath there, so it tells you to push it into the gaps. Any gaps showing? That feels. You can get these in sort of off-white colour as well, but I think the black is. It says it's the most popular colour. There's a slight gap there, so I'll give that a bit more. Now I have seen people on YouTube warming the thing up with a hairdryer or whatever first, but it doesn't on the Motoradds installation video. It doesn't show that at all, so I've just kept it at room temperature. The heating's been on for an hour or two, so it should have been there we go. Don't think there are any gaps there now. The reason I chose this one, there is another make called, I think it's just simply called Chin Mount, which is specifically made for each helmet, and it does make one for this, but the adhesive pad appears to be quite small. It's pre-shaped or pre-sculpted, if you like, to each individual helmet. But I felt with this one, having these sort of wings on, or whatever you want to call them, you've got a bit more I'm probably being a bit overzealous here, but you've got a bit more adhesion there. And with the position of the camera, if it did start to come unstuck, I'm assuming it wouldn't come off and just drop off. It would come unstuck and you would see the camera tilt, or I think you'd get a bit of warning. The thing I did notice with the other mount, the smaller adhesive pad, you do get another pad that you stick on there, and it's got a little security wire that you wire onto the mount or the camera, and if it does come off, it doesn't fall on the road, which, I don't know, may suggest that does happen occasionally. But yeah, that's fitted all the way around. I'm pleased with that. Fix tricks, as they say. So that will go on. I may be able to use this without. I think I will have to use the little with the holes lined up. That's it. There we go. I'm supposed to have that tilted slightly back. I'll get used to that as I use it, but I think we'll call that a success, I reckon. So next thing to do is get out and do some filming, I suppose. So the usual speech at the end of my videos, if you wouldn't mind, let's just sit down. The usual speech at the end of my videos, if you wouldn't mind clicking like and subscribe, it does help to develop the channel. And thanks for watching.